If you've ever fallen asleep on the couch watching Nickelodeon, only to wake up at about 2:15 a.m. exactly to Cheech and Chong's Lowrider and George Lopez just doing a split dive bomb in the air, well, of course it does.
Come on, third graders, show some respect and stand up for your national anthem.
Today we're talking about Nick at Night, the nightly Nickelodeon 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. block of television that nourished many braced-faced boys and girls like myself. So let's take a look back on the year 1985.
1985.
Alright. Now this is when Nick at Night first began in July 1st, 1985. Nick at Night was known as the first classic TV network, and it aired a lot of older classics like I Love Lucy and The Brady Bunch, and other shows from the 1950s through the 1970s. So I'm going to fast forward to 2001.
Futures now, old man.
In the Chinese New Year of the Snake, aka 2001, if you stayed up past your bedtime, aka anytime after 9 o'clock, Nickelodeon, aka Nick at Night, became the HBO of cable television. One of the great things about Nick at Night is it was notably looser when it came to profanity and its suggestive dialogue. And I watched a lot of Nick at Night, so kind of bad boy. And Nick at Night showcased a lot of great shows. Shows like Full House, Home Improvement, even The Cosby Show.
They haven't worked anything out for themselves. It's my barbecue sauce.
I think The Cosby Show gave a little too much suggestive dialogue, if you know what I mean.
After a while, when it kicks in, they get all huggy-buggy. I'm dead serious.
But I think all of us tweenies can agree that from 2004 to 2009, this was the golden age of Nick at Night. Kids were getting slimed, Dylan and Cole Sprouse were telling us to buy Go-Gurt by the gallon, and like every other ad was for Toontown Online.
Are you tuning out?
Plus, those years brought us the real classics. George Lopez, Malcolm in the Middle, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Now, these three shows were typically regarded as the holy trinity of Nick at Night: the Father, the Son, and the Fresh Prince. But why is Nick at Night even important? Well, in the interest of full disclosure, I am a child of a little thing called divorce. Nick at Night played a significant role in my life during that time by doing a little thing called therapy. Because before I got my current therapist, hi Amber, Nick at Night shows were like therapists for kids. Because as a kid, it's terrifying to talk to an adult about anything, let alone like adult stuff.
Son, you know, once you start, there's no going back.
I know.
Are you sure you're ready for that? I mean, really ready?
I guess so.
Neat. We'll start tomorrow.
Whatever you're going through as a kid, one of these shows had an episode out there to help get you through it. And it touched on all things, from just being a teenager and the pursuit of wanting to be treated like an adult.
I want to be treated like an adult.
You want to be treated like an adult?
Yeah.
Okay. The rents due the first.
What?
To being a teenager whose life is so tragic and no one understands me.
It's not a phase, Mom. This is who I am.
But there were other shows that touched on really big issues that, unless we personally experienced them, we didn't really know about as kids. And I'm talking shows like Everybody Hates Chris and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
The problem with going to department stores is every time a black person enters, they get followed.
Get out of the car now.
It was definitely a conversation starter because it helps you learn just simply about the reality of the real world, as well as just a lesson of how not to be racist and just be nice to one another. And all these topics really touched on a lot of things, from the biggest of issues to even the simplest of just the responsibilities of growing up and the realities of becoming an adult.
I'm working for a moron.
Of course you are, honey. Your boss is an idiot, your coworkers are incompetent, and you are underappreciated. Welcome to the working world.
What was really cool was that it was everyday life as a kid growing up, but it was exemplified on the big screen. And whether that was just you dealing with your brothers and sisters and causing trouble,
Man, we're so dead. That's it. Game over.
Yeah.
So I win. That was a foul ball. Are you crazy? It went right down the line.
It was foul.
Shut up! You're home plate. You don't get a vote.
Or just not having a television.
There's no TV! There's no TV! There's no TV!
We're doing this new thing called the circle game.
Malcolm in the Middle was so ahead of the game, they even were the ground zero for the circle game, a game I still play.
You've got mail.
Ah!
Boys.
They gave the most down-to-earth representation of what it's like to be a kid just growing up. And even when it came to more sensitive topics, they didn't pander either. They gave it to you straight. Because one thing every child has either grown up and witnessed or been a part of is seeing their parents fight.
Another snappy comeback. That's very helpful.
I'm not being helpful! Let me give it to you straight, Hal. Why don't you take that?
But you see from a child's point of view, and what do? They ask the exact same question that we all ask our miniature selves.
Are Mom and Dad getting a divorce?
What are you talking about?
They're really mad at each other.
Look, it used to scare me too, but they just have a way of working things out.
How?
How do I say this so you understand? Shut up!
But it was moments like this that made Nick Nite truly special.
I learned how to drive, I learned how to shave, I learned how to fight without him. I had 14 great birthdays without him. He never even sent me a damn card. To hell with him! I ain't need him then and I don't need him now.
Will.
Nah, you know what, Uncle Phil? I'm gonna get through college without him. I'm gonna get a great job without him. I'm gonna marry me a beautiful honey, and I'm having me a whole bunch of kids. I'm gonna be a better father than he ever was. And I sure as hell don't need him for that, because ain't a damn thing he could ever teach me about how to love my kids. How come he don't want me, man?
That right there, that's why Nick Nite was so instrumental for kids growing up. No matter if you were a small, a venti, or a grande, it wasn't written just to be entertaining, it was written so it could be accessible to everybody. And honestly, that's why I still watch these shows practically every night. I'm sure if you watch this video this far and even listened to half of my ramblings, Nick Nite has probably helped you through some things in some way throughout your life. I think that's pretty cool, so if they have, let me know down below. Shout out to Nick Nite, all the Uncle Jessies and the Uncle Phils out there, making this world a better place and letting kids know, even if they might not be related by blood, whoever or whatever may help us get through things, the ones with us at the end of the day are family. And for me, Nick Nite is part of my family.
You know, I wouldn't give up a single one of them.
They're our boys. No one else can say that. They're our boys.
Cool. Rock on.